Hi, Alden Alternate here with Neale McAlpine. We are in Windsor in Brisbane, and we are just across from Northeast Street Farm and Breakfast Creek, which went higher in some areas during the last floods than the 1974 floods. So there's a February 2022 floods, which happened about 3 to 4 weeks ago.
Yep.
And the cleanup continues here. I just want to show you how high the water went and what Neale has been going through, and actually leave you at the end of this with some positive things that you can do moving forward to actually damage control. If you find yourself in this situation or know anyone who is, there's lots we can do to help. So I'll flip this around and show you the house and how high the water went. All right, this is the house here. Across the road there we have the Northeast Street Farm. Now this house next door, you can see that middle window there. The eave over the middle window, you can see there's a bit of debris on the bottom of that dark square there in the middle. That's how high the water went. This is that's a two-story Queenslander house, just like this one is, and the water actually at the back of Neale's family house here actually went right up to the balcony that you can see here. The balcony, the top of the balcony it went to, which is actually
to the windowsill.
To the windowsill, which is where the kitchen is upstairs. The whole downstairs flooded out. Things were floating away. And you know, the backyard, you can see all the dirt that's still on all the greenery, etc. All the clothes had to be taken out and washed. It's been a massive job. And you know, for those that also have other things that they're doing, other work that they're doing, that, you know, they've had to juggle cleaning up with everything else. So Neale, what has this whole experience been like for you this time round?
Well, just to give you a past history, I was here in the 74 floods going through a rowboat as a kid. So it was quite amazing just in those times as a child, experiencing those huge amount of floodwaters and the damage and the extent of contents being flooded away, and how people had to deal with it in those times in 74. So we're now 50 years along, and there's no way I was expecting this, because we were dealing with a situation called a storm bomb. And when I was monitoring it during the time, because I've experienced all the other floods since 74, this had to be such a weird and unexplained way of monitoring to expect, and to be prepared for this was just not an unusual experience. So with the storm bomb going out the west, it brought water that wasn't be able to monitor through the high tides and certainly through the creek levels. It just wasn't doing what you would expect. So the number one thing is being prepared for the worst in this situation, and a lot of people stay with their homes expecting that this was, you know, just going to be 1 or 2 meter floodwaters coming through. But no, Sunday by lunchtime, this turned into a horrific disaster situation, to the water levels being up to the 74, if not higher in different areas. So number one thing is expect the worst, prepare for it, look at how you can get things, particularly at the top floor. My neighbour, he left when the switchboard hit. He did not expect that this was going to come up to his first floor in particularly 3 feet. So all his stuff was taken out, all his contents. He didn't take that opportunity to try to put things up higher. So this was a freak experience that being prepared for is difficult, but at least consider the worst, and by putting as much stuff up as high as possible so you can save some of your family possessions. So secondly was to deal with the cleanup, and this is where everybody will have a different report on how they worked with that and how the Mud Army helped. Huge congratulations to Brisbane City Council and also the Army coming in and relieving us and working with us. The big thing there is to making sure that the owner is there to help understand what is necessary to be thrown away and what can be used in regards to recovery. The big thing is tables and cleaning products, cleaning equipment, things that can help you recover after you have cleaned out your possessions and seen what is rubbish and what is recoverable. A lot of that didn't happen apparently, and again, this could have been a repeat to 2011. I experienced quite a bit of loss, but unfortunately I wasn't able to be here, so it was unable to be managed by myself. So that is very important in recovery, is having the benefit of having what you can use to help speed the recovery in cleaning up and making your site being used by those materials or equipment. The third thing is the aspect of how you deal with it in your personal experience. The stress levels, the feeling that this is very overwhelming, and how best to deal with that. Of course, rest is important, and support, talking to people and releasing the experience you're going through so that you can equate and you don't bottle it up. It is an extraordinary experience. I've been through quite a number of them, and to feel that you've got a voice to talk to, or someone to talk to, relate to, it's very important. That helps you mentally stabilize and going forward, making life a little bit easier. This is, to me, an experience of both areas that I'm dealing with, family home and across the road, Northern Street City Farm, both disaster areas, and it is overwhelming to go through this process of recovery and dealing with. First off is the enormity, that the damage that you get. I had pontoons floating away, I had water tanks, I had fridges sitting on top of benches, and it's just quite a big ordeal in someone if you haven't been exposed to this. So three main areas I consider is: one, understanding, being prepared, and being able to try to make things in a situation where you can recover what is personal. Try to put it up as high as possible. Be prepared for the worst. Make sure you're not going to be caught in the floods. I was able to get out with the SES with a boat, but I was prepared to stick around until I was not in an urgent situation. So don't put pressure on SES, particularly in those circumstances. Be comfortable that you are able to go out without being under due pressure. Secondly, it's important to go through the process in recovery and see how much you can save and how much you can use towards your recovery with equipment, cleaning products, what is necessary to help make the transition easier, rather than seeing it go out on the roads as waste and not available for you, because it just makes the task harder. And thirdly, looking after yourself. It's very important that you debrief yourself, have people around you to discuss and work with you. The community services have been very, very helpful in financially helping you recover through the different organisations, and they came around and knocked on my door, and wow, I just said that is an amazing opportunity to tap into those resources so that you can feel like you're getting some support, be it physical, mental or financial. So a big exercise that you don't want to go through in your life too many times. But Mother Nature is like that. It will bear its force. So look at how you can best manage those circumstances. And thank you, Aldwyn, for the opportunity to discuss this.
Thank you, Neale. How are you feeling at the moment?
Exhausted. Physically, mentally exhausted, and I'm surprised sometimes I during the day just need to have a cat nap because I'm just drained. So then I realise I've got to get off my feet and just catch some winks, catch some sleep, and pick my feet back up again.
And keep going. And we were discussing earlier, you know, the war in Ukraine, between Ukraine and Russia at the moment. You know, people are obviously dying over there in droves and losing their houses there as well. And I guess, you know, when we consider those kind of situations and we think, well, you know, at least you have a roof over your head, at least you have food to eat. There has been a lot of unfortunate, tragic loss of life with the floods. Just across the road there were 6 chickens that you know, basically drowned in the floods, unfortunately, and God knows how many other animals, which hasn't really been mentioned too much, but I would say there'd be a lot of animals that have lost their lives during this flood as well, and some people as well. And the cleanup has been absolutely massive here in Brisbane, parts of Brisbane, and also northern New South Wales. And I want to do a big shout out for everyone who has supported and helped and come on board, because every little bit helps. Like, you know, today we're doing loads of washing, we're cleaning floors. Like, there's still so much to do. It's a massive job, and I guess the bigger the house that you're cleaning up, the more work there is to do and the more stuff to go through. And you know, it's and just dirt through everything, right? Dirt and rubble, etc., through everything. So I guess considering that, there's always lessons and learnings in everything, right? And beautiful Claude is with us, Claude Tranchant, who's a Brisbane client of mine, a beautiful friend as well. And she says, so true, very challenging for many. For me, I had no power for many days, no light, no torch, one candle, no charger. Another learning at nearly 76. Wow, I'm sorry to hear that, Claude. And so true, praying every day for Ukraine. Yeah, you know, there's a lot of people affected, and you know, yet there's you know, things can always be worse. You know, things can always be worse. So I guess, as you know, as awful as it is what's happened, and certain things we just cannot control in the world, we can control how we're going to show up and how we're going to be about it. And you know, as exhausted as you are, Neale, I take my hat off to you. You're amazing. You keep on going, and you know, inch by inch, everything's a cinch. They say, right? Inch by inch, everything's a cinch. Yeah. And sometimes you look at the cleanup effort and you think, oh my goodness, this is such a massive thing. How am I going to get through this? Well, you get through it one little section at a time, right? One day at a time. One day at a time, one thing at a time. Thank you so much, Neale. Anything else you want to share? Is there anything else we can do to support you?
Look, the biggest thing is to understand you're not alone in this, and it's important to share your experience, debrief, get some rest, and recover. It's not a loss of life, it's a loss of possessions and a loss of your livelihoods in some respects for short term. However, we will recover. That's the important thing.
Yes, we will recover, we will move on. Life is full of ups and downs, the roller coaster ride of life. And, you know, there's always learnings. As we say, we come in with nothing, we leave with nothing. You know, for some people it's been a great opportunity to go through all their stuff, right, and clean out their things, and, you know, to renew their possessions, even to start all over again. And something definitely to consider. I guess if there's been a flood once, there could be a flood again, and this could happen. So be prepared, you know, as you say, get your things up high, etc., so that if it does happen again, that you're prepared and you can deal with it. So thank you so much, Neale. Anything else you want to say?
No, all good. Thank you, Aldwyn.
Thank you. Thank you, Neale. Amazing. Just one of many people in Brisbane and other parts of this part of the world, in Australia and northern New South Wales, etc., who have survived the floods and who are now cleaning up. Nearly 1 month on, the cleanup continues, and we are with you. And if you need any support and you're watching this, please reach out. There's lots of people who will support you, so reach out, even if it's something we can do and just give an hour here or there, or you know, whatever it is to pitch in.
Information.
Yeah, and pass on the information if you like what you've seen here today, or if you have any tips for any flood victims out there, then please pop your tips into the chat here and share the love. And we look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you so much for joining us, and keep inspiring. There's, as Gandhi says, be the change you wish to see in the world. And as I say, shine bright and light up all those around you. Blessings to you, sending you lots of love, and we'll see you again soon. Bye for now. See you.